Okay. Okay. C'est Matt Tavik, thank you. And I will present a new project. It is the Indo-Cacao project. This project is for 2 years and it started in June 2025. And so the end will be in June 2027. And it is about the population in Indonesia's cocoa industry. So the context, in fact, Indonesian agriculture has been dominated by important commodities since the 19th century, and with major environmental and social issues like deforestation, rural poverty. And there is a new national strategy towards sustainable and decentralized agriculture. And that concern a lot of people, from 30 million as smaller numbers. It is the context also, in this moment, the price of cocoa is very attractive, because since the crisis in West Africa with climate change, the price and the decrease of production, there is an increase of price of cocoa, so it's very attractive now. So it is the reason of for what Indonesia is very interested in this product. Local needs and demands, so it is a direct request from the Indonesian authorities, Bappenas, Minagri, Mincop. On the project was developed jointly with local partners, CIRAD, cultural community, different organizations. And cocoa was identified as the strategic priority sector. And the main objective of this project is supporting the sustainable structuring of the build-to-bar cocoa sector, with specific objectives, strengthening the technical and organizational capacity in small waters, promoting agroecology and geographical indication, and establishing a technical center of excellence of cocoa. The strategic alignment this project included in the bilateral priorities confirmed by the heads of state. Je visited the French president in Indonesia, and contribution to strategy in Indonesia also, and complementary with the solidarity-based investment strategy of the French division, and the other strategic alignment with strengthening French cooperation on sustainable agricultural sectors. The technical center of excellence will be a unit tool for pooling of technical marketing and research activities, exclusive targeting of small producers, and even inclusive governments with cooperatives, ministry, and CIRAD for scientific purpose. And we identified 2 pilot areas. First one is Sulawesi, mainly central Sulawesi, around Danau Poso, and central Java, near to Jakarta. The project partners, so Indonesian partners are Bappenas, Department of Agriculture, Department of Finance, ICRI, it is an Indonesian Coffee Cocoa Research Institute, ICRI, on the job community, ICB, KNM, ICB, and ICB is associated, for example, so it is an association of build-to-bar in Indonesia. On first, my French partner, National SCAD, potentially RFB, companies, including fund chocolate makers and Institut Agro. The key activities of the major milestone is technical analysis on local consultation, establishment of on developing of a center of excellence. It is a long-term purpose, training on technical and marketing support, development of agroecological pilot models, and promoting growth for geographical indications. So we begin with technical analysis. We did a first trip in Sulawesi the last month, and so it's not possible to tell all of the things we did during this trip, but so one of the conclusion is the main constraints of cocoa cultivation in Sulawesi and in Indonesia, the Stocopod boron and Conopomorpha cramamea. So they told me that it is around 45% of attack pods in Sulawesi, so it is very, very important. Next slide. So this is the symptoms of this pest problem. Okay, so that means there is a decrease of yield, but also a decrease of the quality of cocoa when the pods were intact. So next slide. For the moment, there is no real solutions to control that. In fact, there is some technical solution proposed, for instance, by Mars. It is the stearin, it is these plastic bags with on each pod, so it's very complicated to manage that. And it's very time consuming, and it's not very ecological because after plastic go away. And there is also some innovation. So, for instance, they use plastic, but plastical. So it's a little bit more because it's also want to be recycled, reusable. Next slide. And there is also different other solution. Trunks exist, but the problem, and since this is a data drop, it's possible to use that for monitoring, but it's not effective for mass tracking. So it could be used, but it's not a solution to control the space. So in Sulawesi, in part of Sulawesi, several farmers have imagined also solution. It is a farmer innovation. It's a repellent. That means they put gas oil in this bottle, and this is a tissue, and there is a diffusion of gas oil, and apparently it's a repellent, but I am not sure it's an ecological solution. But maybe it's possible to combine both and to go combine in a pushable strategy. So I don't know for the moment. Also, it's possible there is the genetic variability of the behavior of cocoa trees in terms of attack of the cocoa borer, but also what it is very complicated here. In fact, the introduction of cocoa came from different ways, directly from Pacific, from Mexico on Colombia, and to Philippines. And from Philippines, there is a diffusion of cocoa everywhere in Asia, but there is also other introduction from directly from Latin America, and also from Madagascar, through India. So it is very complicated to understand what is the composition of the genetic composition of cocoa for the moment. Next slide, please. Because in fact, the cocoa population, the cocoa is divided in 10 geographical groups. So as the introduction of cocoa in Asia was really old, it's possible that we have only 2 groups, Americano and Tilo. And the combination between both as Trinitaro, and it's possible that we don't have this part of upper Amazon goes of the Guantamana, Curacao, Piana, Iquitos, and so on. So maybe we use to introduce other cocoa clones in order to see if there is a variability of behavior fast cocoa. Also, it is useful to understand what is the genetics of the cocoa in the different islands in order to define geographical indication of cocoa, because the geographical indication is combination between landscape, terroir, but also genetics of that exist in this terroir. So after that, we have training. The industry, which we started training on solar kinetic evaluation in Montpellier. So it was between 23 and 25 of September. So it's like the beneficiaries of the project, the direct beneficiary has around 1,000 small producer and pilot areas. Involvement is very important because it is also outwest of the French industry. Okay. And so local agriculture cooperatives, and indirect beneficiary are rural families, and on the listed consumers and exporters. So, on the sustainability and scaling up of this project, so as there is a strong political support of this Indonesian authorities, it's possible to continue. The structure of the centers, the basis for national intervention. PNL, it is a structure of an project that guarantees on sustainability role, answered by again scientific and potential financial support. So expected outcomes. So one of the major, the principal objective is to increase the share of bean-to-bar chocolate from 2% currently to 10% by 2030. To create a sustainable cocoa ecosystem in province, in two provinces. So the two provinces are Sulawesi and Central Java. Economical and environmental value of Indonesian cocoa. And models that can be replicated for other provinces like because it's quite there's cocoa in Sumatra, also cocoa in other islands, but also for other communities like coffee, spices. So conclusion outcome, so the cocoa project is part of shared vision for sustainable, inclusive and innovative agriculture. Next steps, operational launch in close partnership with local authorities and owners, on a strategic opportunity to strengthen bilateral cooperation on the fifth impact. Thank you very much, Team Magazine.